So, settle down. Hey, thank you. So this week I want to talk about hosting. So not as much coding in VS Code, more like taking what you've already completed and showing you how to put it onto the public internet. Okay. So my theme for my yap real quick is giving you a lot of information that you'll get more hands-on with during your block days because today we don't have enough time to get as into it as I want. So, after I finished yapping about your flex for Wednesday and some basics about what hosting is, you have study hall, but I will still keep your phones until the last 5 minutes like normal. Okay. So before we get into the PowerPoint for today, let me reload this page. I want to go over the week as well as talk about the interesting Wednesday flex that we have coming up. Okay. So today I want to go over what hosting is so you understand how a server works in general. And as well, knowing by the end of the week, you'll be able to host your project number 2 pages with a site called Vercel, which is this guy right down here, resource number 3. It's putting your work actually on the public internet. Okay, that's going to be what this whole week is themed around. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going more in depth on how you get your page onto the internet. Thursday, we are talking about domains and redirection. And then Friday, we'll do something fun like we normally do. But not an official, like, big project like you've been working on for the last little bit. Okay. I want to talk about Flex real quick. Tuesday, we have a lockdown in transition drill. So, right when the bell rings, there'll be a lockdown drill with Mr. Adamo talking over the speakers. And then we have regular Flex after that. I can go over protocol with that if you want, but it's basically just go into the nearest classroom. We'll do our lockdown like normal and continue with Flex after we're finished. Okay. But Wednesday is interesting because I haven't seen this before at my time at Skyline. Granted, that's only like 4 years, but that's a while. This Wednesday's business day are these industry panels from the set up by the College and Career Center. Okay. Let me first pull up the message that I got from Miss Jameson, somebody who works in the College Career Center and also organized this event, while you look at Monday resources number 1, the Flex bios for Wednesday 225. Okay. So what's happening this Wednesday are some industry panels around 15 different Skyline locations and a bunch of different industries that you could be interested in. Okay. And if you don't sign up by the end of today, you get auto assigned on Tuesday. So if you want to get one, because seats are a little bit limited, you want to pick in this period before the end of the day. Okay. Spots are limited, so select your preferred industry before that room fills up. Even if it does fill up, there are a huge variety of presenters, which I'll go over here in just a second. So keep an open mind if your session that you want fills up. I want to start by showing you the 15 locations. There are many in each of the gyms, the 2 rounders, which are connected to the main theater, the library, and then in the lower commons. And then you can see what each location is hosting. Okay, so this one is about career wisdom from different educations to different industries, the backbone of business related to financing and the supply chain, aviation specific industries, humanities and marketing specific industries, blah, 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 blah. You can see, like in the lower commons, is talking about strategy, branding, and retail with specific industry executives. The other 7 locations are, hi, welcome back, are different block classrooms, as well as the 15th and final being the College and Career Center. And these different industries range from pharmacy and med, real estate, legal, engineering, construction, and pharmacy and med tech. All right. Now, what you if you continue scrolling, you're gonna see the panel and the different speakers on that panel. This is very much like if you go to a convention, whether it's a more fun convention like Comic-Con or the upcoming SakuraCon or PAX or any of the other like big Seattle conventions that we have. Panelists are a group of generally experts or experienced people talking about their experience with whatever their panel's about. So if you're a senior, you might remember Mr. DeBeck. He retired recently. He will be one of the panelists for the Education Meets Aspiration, Connection from Industry and Education to Industry, as well as Yoonmi Park. That's just these 2 for this one. If we look at the Finance and Supply Chain one, we have Anna Grant, Kurt Ursich, and Stephen Grimmer. And you can see some information about each of these panelists as you scroll through this document. It's a little bit on the long side, so I would first figure out what industry you want to see, then go to that specific, like if you want to go to the Olympic gym, which has a ton of room, you want to scroll down to the Olympic gym page and see who's on the Olympic gym page and a little bit about what they're doing and what they're bringing to the table. Okay. I'm showing you all this because I want you to have a good opportunity to pick the actual industry that you want to pick. So when you see your flex time window, you're going to see a ton of different panel offerings. Pick the ones that sound interesting off of this extra info right here. Okay? So I want to make sure you have the preparation that you need. You can see a whole bunch of different professionals all the way down to page 18 or 15. Sorry, there's 15 pages of notes and 3 pages of locations. Pick the one you want for Wednesday's flex, and then Tuesday's flex is a regular day after the lockdown and transition. Okay? So that's the first thing you should do today during your study hall type period, or while I introduce, because this is being recorded, while I introduce hosting. Okay? Bless you. Bless you, bless you. All right. So you can see the Honda Asimo right here. I think that's how you say that name. Asimo. Is serving right now. They are creating, or they are, think about servers, the word that I'm using frequently in web design context, very similar to the servers that you're used to in restaurants, okay? You make a request of the server, and if you've got the full screen snake, at least half screen it with the screen share, please. Okay, thank you. Servers, when you make a request, they bring you what you request. The internet works in a very similar way, okay? The art of hosting, or the act of hosting, is generally speaking putting your pages onto the internet. Okay? Getting them from the coded basics that you've been working with and sending them out to the world so people can actually access them. We're also going to talk about how you can use traffic data to your advantage this week. Vercel offers a lot of really interesting data points to how many users visit your site, how long they stayed there, what they did while they were on the site, things that you can use in the design process to further advance your websites. And then later in the week, when we talk about domains and customization, or we talk about domains, you get further customization and further personalization based on the domain name that you pick. Okay? Your tasks for today are to listen to me set up the week, and then do your entry and exits, and then whatever time is left, we do study hall. Okay? Outcomes from this week are understanding of servers and hosting, and prepares you for some more teaching when I see y'all again tomorrow. Okay? Your objectives, twofold: brainstorming, a couple brainstorming questions that'll help you move through this idea, this concept of hosting through this week, okay? And then we'll also talk about a specific site called Vercel, what it is, what it does, and how we'll use it. And if Vercel is blocked, like some people in 4th period were telling me, we will find something else to do that is still hosting until we get Vercel fixed, okay? Your methods, for the most part, are going to be reviewing my recordings as well as using the resources that I provide for you. And you know you're getting it because you understand that we're going to try and use Vercel. You'll understand the role of a server in web design, and you'll understand the importance of an effective domain name like Canvas, YouTube, Discord, etc. You'll be able to answer the question, what makes them effective, okay? And we're doing this because core to actually creating the pages, the reason that we're making these websites is because we want people to see them, right? You can have a core message that you want to share. You can have a core idea that you want to spread. And if it doesn't spread, it only stays with you, okay? So by hosting, you get your work out into the world so people can see it, interact with it. Everybody improves from the work that you are putting out as such. The internet is our main communication medium now too. Not a lot of print media as common as it was like 100 years ago, 50 years ago, because everybody's on the internet, everybody's got a computer in their pocket, generally speaking. If you want to get a message out, you do it through the internet, okay? And by knowing how to host and by knowing how to get people to click on your link, you get more of your message spread out, okay? You also get connection. You find other users who are sharing the same sort of interests as you. Same with the community orientation. If you're a member, we're all members of communities in different ways, big and small. By understanding what that community needs, what you can provide for that community through the internet, through the free tools that I'm going to show you, you get a lot of benefits of moving information, which is an important skill to have in our modern digital world, right? Your exit task is twofold, and I'm gonna introduce it now so you can do it a little early. But it's 2 questions. The first one's an opinion. The second one is I'm a little bit more curious about, okay? Your dream domain name is your call because it's a further way that you can customize your specific web design site. But you want to think of it like a class name or an ID. It should also have a little bit of a function, okay? That's what this second question is asking right here. How does your domain name, your dream domain name, help your user understand the site's purpose? And the example I'll tell you real quick before I let you go to study hall is our Canvas URL, which is where the domain name lives, is issaquah.instructure.com, and then slash and a bunch of extra junk that makes it work in different ways, right? If I'd never known what Issaquah or Instructure or .com meant, I can at least kind of figure out, because the domain name that's attached to it serves me a specific website, I can make some educated guesses, right? Issaquah, we know of as a place or a region. Instructure is not a word technically, but it has the word instruct, which is going to make me guess it's some kind of educational tool or some kind of teaching tool. And then .com is the extension for commercial, meaning there's some kind of business deal that's been made in order for this site to exist, okay? Other common extensions, because they help our user understand the site's purpose, like .gov, .org, .edu, those are all going to be pieces of information that your user can try to use if they've never been to your site before, okay? So your exit task that you need to do before today is tell me what your dream domain name is and how does it help your user understand the site's purpose. Like the Canvas example, like the .gov, .org, .edu, .pizza, .gg, .io, bit.ly, okay? A lot of different options for how the domain name influences the message, okay? And that's what I need to share with you to start. The rest of the time is y'all's to study hall. If you have any specific Project 2 questions or you need help with something if you are absent or you just need help in general, now would be the time to ask. Otherwise, I'll keep your phones until I check exit tasks. Let's go at like 1 o'clock. And that will be our Monday. We'll get more in-depth on hosting in the block day when we have a little bit more time. Okay? Does that make sense? Generally speaking? Do you have any general questions about what we're going to work on this week? Anything jumping out that you want to know immediately? Keep in mind I'll probably answer it as the week progresses. I'm not seeing any hands. Okay, cool. All right, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Let me get all this uploaded. You can complete your exit task a little earlier than normal, just because I want to get the thought ball rolling for y'all in your brains. Okay, thanks y'all. Excuse me.